Hi, everybody, and I want to look at a situation here where we have maybe a different kind of scatter plot. So picture an experiment where I go around and I get a class of people and I test them for their percentage body fat. Now, obviously 100% body fat would not make sense, but we're just putting that on our scale as our independent variable is body fat percentage. And, like what is a normal body fat percentage? Well, you can look that up, but let's just, look at a scale that goes from 0 to 100 as our independent variable, or our x-axis variable. And as our dependent variable, as our y-axis variable, let's have the number of minutes spent running each day by somebody. So let's say we have a class of people, and what I find is interesting. Let's say that I find that as their percentage of body fat goes up, they seem to run less every day. Okay, so the people who have a higher body fat percentage run not as much as the people who have a low body fat percentage. So if you look at, for example, this person here, this person has a low body fat percentage, maybe it's only like 20%, and they run like 35 minutes a day, right? But if we look at this person here, this person has a high body fat percentage, maybe let's say 70. I think that might be unrealistic, okay? We'd have to look up exactly the numbers that are realistic. And they, they spend a lot less time running. Maybe it's like 10 minutes every day, okay? So what would be the line of best fit that would describe this scenario? Well, we would take out a ruler and we would say that, it's got to be a line of best fit, right? Well, okay, so it's got to be a line of best fit. And the things we need to do is it has to follow the trend. It should try to have the same number of points above it and below. And if possible, it should go through as many points as it can. All right, well, see, if you just looked at any of these things individually, you might run into trouble, right? If I was just totally focused on going through as many points as possible, then you might see something that looks, like this. And the student says, well, look, it's going through as many points as possible, but that's a big no, right? Because that's not a line. And we said that in our last video. Okay. If, on the other hand, the only thing that we thought about was it has exactly the same number of points above it and below it, well, you know what? That might work. But it may not. It just depends, right? Like I could, if I was only focused on that one thing, maybe I would just see something that looks like this. And maybe I'll just move it a little over like here. Maybe I would just see something that looks, it's hard to get exactly, but maybe I would see something that looks like that. And then I could count the points, and that might be close. All right. That could be good, but let's just see. What about if I was only focused on it following the trend? Okay, so remember, in the first one, I tried to make it go through as many points as possible. The second one, I tried to have exactly the same number of points above and below it. What if I just said follows the trend? Well, if I just said follows the trend, I could put it anywhere as long as it has the same pattern, or it has the same direction down and to the right. Okay, so I could draw that and say that follows the trend, but it wouldn't be the line of best fit. So as we need to remember, we're trying to get something that captures all three of these to the best of our ability. So the line that I would think might look something like, move it up a little, maybe like this. I know this looks pretty close to the second line I drew, but this is not going to be absolutely perfect, but it's pretty close, okay? It follows the trend. It does go through a couple of points, sort of, and it has about the same number above it and below it. Is it possible the line could be a little more this way? Yes, it is, and you'd still get good marks, and you'd still get perfect basically, but not too much. Okay, So there's a little window where I would say is acceptable, probably right in there. Okay. Anyway, I hope you found that helpful, but try to remember that what you're looking to is you're trying to the best of your ability to capture all three of these. And sometimes you may not be able to get one of them, but if the other two are good, you should be fine. Thanks for listening. And we will then talk about curves of best fit.